Действительно, тяжело представить, чтобы президент государства, который пришел к власти на трагедии Майдана за счет тотального доверия украинцев, мог себе позволить дать распоряжение спецслужбам, организовать теракт против своих сограждан ради сохранения собственного рейтинга. Тяжело поверить в то, что Порошенко использовал отдельных представителей вооруженных сил для участия в диверсиях и террористических актах против граждан Украины, проживающих в Крыму. Еще раз хотим подчеркнуть, Крым – это территория Украины. Там проживают граждане Украины. То, что Петр Алексеевич готов был сделать с собственными гражданами, заслуживает отдельного внимания правоохранительных органов Украины. Чтобы Петра Алексеевича не говорили о выдернутых из контекста фразах, публикуем разговор целиком. Предлагаю послушать.
Порошенко.
Petra, how are you? It's Joe.
Very well indeed, Joe. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you again. That's a great pleasure.
Well, this is an opportunity the President insisted that be made available. Look, I know I appreciate, the quick follow-up call we had last week, but it's really important that we're able to speak secure and ensure that we're on the same page. My team has briefed me in considerable detail on the events that transpired over the weekend of the 6th and the 7th. And as you know, Clinton initially shared those details of Ukrainian intelligence operations with our ambassador. But in the end, you're president of Ukraine, and responsibility, with all due respect, rests with you. And we have to be absolutely honest with each other. These actions have left both the president and me a little concerned. And the president is coming back from his vacation. He's convened a meeting next week. And beginning of the week, he wants to discuss ways forward, quote unquote, on Ukraine. And I need to be able to tell him that you've taken all the appropriate steps to avoid this type of incident, because, as you know, we intervened once before this when we learned that your HUR was going to take some action, and we made it clear we didn't support that, and you stood down, and then the next thing, this happens. And so he's, quite frankly, not real happy. And your military intelligence chief received a really clear message several weeks ago regarding our strong disapproval for a proposed sabotage operation against military targets inside and then Russian territory. And I know Crimea is Ukraine, and it's illegally occupied. However, we strongly believe that raising the cost on Russia should only be done via political and diplomatic means, not military and sabotage operations. You have, and I know you've been trying to call Putin. I don't know whether you got him. I noticed today he's in Crimea talking about how the Minsk process is that there's no intention to deal with it, etc. And I'm concerned the risk associated with operations like this. I think they far outweigh the benefits, and I think you're already seeing what's going on in Mariupol and what's happened the last couple weeks. But here's what I'm really concerned about, and the president's concerned about. I know you don't have the same connections with the intelligence community in France and Germany, but we're working with the French and the Germans to keep pressure on them to make progress on Minsk, including advocating for a seat at the table. But instances like this, they're going to find out exactly what the hell happened, and it's not what the Russians make it out to be. We know what it was: is 4 frogmen intercepted, all 4 escaped, and the next night, friendly fire that had nothing to do with you guys, and Putin's trying to make some big deal out of this. But I understand you're sending your foreign minister to Berlin and Paris, but if they find out about this before they're briefed by you, this is going to be a disaster.
Thank you.
That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Joe, for the very straightforward conversation. Again, I want to repeat once again that that's happening when I was in my Far East visit, we undertake the important steps which make this situation impossible in future. And the only reason why we do not resign the chief of military intelligence, that just, I hate the idea to do it immediately now, but anybody can interpret that as a recognizing of any responsibility or of any...
I'm not asking you to do that, nor is the president asking you to do that. That's an internal decision you make. You're entitled to make it any way you want. But look, every time the CIA screws up in the United States, it's the president's responsibility. Period.
I fully understand that, Joe. And this is, I just informed you that I made this decision, and they would be done later on. And I provide a very severe internal investigation, and the results would be very quickly. And as a partner, I just inform you that you know that that's happened in a couple of weeks, or maybe 1 month's time. But I completely change the system of making decision and instruct Minister of Defense and Chief of General Staff that they also have no rights to approve without the President any type of this operation. This is point number one.
Well, okay.
Absolutely. I have a meeting with the EU ambassador. He delivered me this message from President Obama, and I give my answer and message in return that we completely change the procedure for approving this type of documents, be the criminal responsibility if anything like that happened, and I'm 100% sure that that would be not possible. Point number one. Point number two. We still trying to have a phone conversation with Putin, and he rejected. I think he want to make this so-called Security Council of Russia in Crimea today. I think that's a trolling, because when he appointed this Livanov, Minister of Education, to be a trade representative of Russia, this is nothing serious. This is just a trolling. But in any case, you don't make any new attempt to blame Ukraine with the new names. You killed, you wounded people because they have nobody. Nobody. They don't have anything with this crazy idea to blame Ukrainian in this diversion attack against airport, ports, infrastructural object or anything like that, because this is simply not true. The same way, like we don't open the fire, we don't use the military force.
We know that. We know that. We know that.
This is absolutely dead end for Putin. And at the end of the day, also because of your trust and your firm position, we create in the world the opinion that we put Crimea back in the agenda. And with that situation, I think Putin loses.
Well, let me tell you right now, Petra, at the moment, I'm worried that you're going to lose short term. I'm worried that you and I both know that both France and Germany and our European friends are looking for an excuse to again always blame Ukraine for whatever's going on. And what he's about is trying to make sure that that they don't force him to have to meet his conditions under Minsk. And I am really worried that, and I have to tell you, the president is, he already thinks I'm a little bit too inclined to all always take Crimea's position. I mean, excuse me, Ukraine's position. But this has caused real difficulty here. I don't want to kid you about it. You know, and by the way, I've asked, I've asked Brennan, the CIA director, to follow up with your intelligence director, including Kondratyuk, to reinforce our strong view that Ukraine's political leadership has to be fully informed in any operations, which you're already doing. But going forward, it's really, I encourage you to continue to keep the rhetoric balanced and consider how your actions are going to be perceived internationally. I mean, you have me, you have the bulk of my team, and but I tell you, it's I am really worried about this.
Look, again, I'm not. First of all, I thank you for these messages. Second, look, again, we are open to you, we are transparent, and we are responsible. So you do not have to think that we can bring any problem to you, because we demonstrate an absolutely responsible behavior, and this neither
no,
to the
you
Russian
didn't. As a matter of fact, no, you didn't. You did not initially. Now, whether you knew it or not, whether you knew they were going forward in Crimea or not, and I believe you say you didn't know. Okay, I believe it. But we had no idea what you were about to do. It was not fully transparent, and it causes a gigantic problem.
What do you mean? I just confirmed that we plan to act only political diplomatic way.
No, I got that. And from this point on, I get it. I'm just telling you, I don't want you to misunderstand. I'm not, look, all I'm doing as a friend is telling you my making my arguments here made a whole hell of a lot harder now. It's a whole lot more difficult for me to make my case.
Why?
For you in this country. And I don't want to sugarcoat it. I continue to do it. We'll get by this, but it cannot come close to happening again.
I guarantee you that this is not happening again. Nothing like that. Not only this, but nothing like that. That's point number one. Point number two. Today, my chief foreign policy advisor, because this is Angela and Francois asked that that would be chief foreign policy advisor, not minister, because they wanted that they would be too personal. And they have a meeting in Berlin with the Mr. Huygen, who is the chief foreign policy advisor of Angela, and with the deputy Audibert, I don't remember, but Francois also sent his trustworthy people. And they have a trilateral meeting. And my Yelysey on the secured line informed me that meeting was very good.
All right. Well, that's good. But, you know, look, I hope your intelligence service has figured out that any provocation like the one that occurred was going to produce the kind of action you and I predicted would happen. He's doing exactly what you'd think he would do. He's using that as a pretext to significantly increase the carnage in the East. He's used it to as a provocation, as a pretext to be able to do exactly what he's doing on the touchline. And we don't need that. You don't need that. So hopefully this will settle. But I just can't tell you. I don't often get phone calls from the president when he's on vacation. And so it'll be reassuring to learn that the meeting with the French and Germans today went as well as you've characterized, and that they are fully informed as to what happened. That was my major concern, that they would react differently. It's good to hear they did not. Over.
Look, I am struck to give advisors the detailized information. And I ask you, does it would be better if you inform them or me? You said that better to send my representative. And then I speak with them. Sorry.
If we inform them, it will look like we have in the past known things that we haven't told them. We